Hello, everyone. This is Lori from Overton Travel. Hopefully, you can see me. And so this is me. So today I am happy to bring to you the webinar on Ghana. If you see me today, you see that I have on my head wrap from Ghana. I have my bracelets from Ghana and everything. So I'm so excited. This is the fourth installment of our webinar series. And so what I want to do is, before we get started in the actual webinar, is to give you some housekeeping notes. So this is a webinar format which is slightly different than the meeting format. So you can see us, you can hear the presenter, but we can't see or hear you. So it's that way by design. So if you have any questions, you should see a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen or at the top of your screen, and you should enter all your questions in the Q&A box. And after the presentation, we will go through your questions. Donna, who is our moderator, she will be looking into the Q&A box, and she will be monitoring your questions. We'll go over that. So today we have the pleasure of having two phenomenal people with us. So today we have with us, we have Mawuli, who is the current CEO of Land Tours Ghana. He'll actually be doing the presentation for us. And then also we have with us Mona Boyd, who just retired. And she was the former CEO of Land Tour Ghana. She's way too young to retire, so I'm jealous of her for that. So Mawuli will be doing the presentation for us today, and then Mona and Mawuli will be on the line at the end to take the questions and answers. Okay, so get ready. You're going to be on a fabulous ride to the motherland. So, all right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, Mawuli, and I will let you take it over from here.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Mawuli Jibu. I'm the CEO of Land Tours, as Laurie Gerard said. Something brief about me. I started out as a tour guide and taking tourists all over West Africa, where we operate in 8 countries in West Africa, and rose through the ranks, met a lot of people, became a manager, a general manager. Now I'm the CEO. I'm so excited to walk you through my country. And so we're going to go straight ahead with what to see. So I want to start off by giving a lot of perspective about Africa. So Africa has 54 independent countries, as all over from the north to the south, west to the east. There are about 1.3 billion people in Africa right now. Now, where is Ghana located in Africa? As you can see from the arrow, Ghana is located in West Africa and is bordered by Ivory Coast to the west, Burkina Faso to the north, and Togo to the east. Of course, the south is the Atlantic Ocean. Ghana, as I said right there, West Africa can be reached from New York on Delta Airlines, 9 hours. You should be here from Delta Airlines from New York, or from Washington, D.C. on South African Airways directly to Accra. Or you can also come in through Europe, through all the major European countries, through British Airways, through KLM, through Air France, through Brussels Airlines. All of that is available. And also Ethiopian Airlines through Addis Ababa from New York directly, that should bring you to Ghana. So I'm going to do a little history and politics about Ghana. So Ghana was founded, got independence in 1957, March 1957. I was led by our president, first president called Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, who was a great Pan-Africanist. He had a vision to unite the whole of Africa. And as part of his struggles to unite Africa, he did a lot of reading and was inspired by Black intellectuals like W. Du Bois, Marcus Garvey, George Padmore, among others. And in the early 60s, some of these people came to Ghana, including Dr. Du Bois, who actually died in Ghana. So there's a big museum and library here in Accra. When you come to Ghana, you get to see the Dubois Center and then about all his works in his final stages of life. People like Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X were all here in the early 60s. Now, currently, Ghana is practicing a parliamentary democracy in 4-year term limits. The country is divided into 16 administrative regions. Accra is the national capital. Our next election is going to be held in December 2020. Ghana's population is currently about 30 million and all over. And the biggest ethnic group is the Akans, who speak the Twi language. English is the official language, even though there are over 75 local languages. So the pictures you see here are inauguration of the current president that was held in 2016. We have an election again in December to see whether he's still going to stay in power. So the reasons to come to Ghana are a lot. The first one is the culture. We see in every part of our day-to-day life, culture being displayed in every aspect. So for instance, what you see on the first picture is the king of the Ashantis, called Osei Otumfuo Osei Tutu, receiving homage from the king of Agnon, coming to pay homage to him, to say your greetings during one of the big festivals called Akwesi Dai. On the next picture you see there is women doing a traditional dance called Adowa dance through the festivals, through funerals. You see all of this everywhere. You see the Kente Club one at during this festival. You see the chiefs and people coming to the palanquins. What you see is a retinue of chiefs coming to pay homage to Ashanti during the burial or the great Ashanti. That's somebody else doing a very beautiful dance. So you see a lot of culture. You see a lot of people dressed up in beautiful clothes all over Ghana, going from the north to the south. Also, the people are just very warm, very, very warm and friendly. And then you see people who welcome you at Kwaba with a big smile. They ask you, what's your name? And they just want to get to know you. They're just very warm and friendly. Now, what I just want to talk about next is what we call the living heritage experiences. In Ghana, we all go through what we call the 4 stages of life. So there's birth, and then we have a naming, and then we have a puberty, and then we have marriage, and what we call the death, as which the living heritage series. Now, names here are very, very, very important. When a child is born, we don't really bring you out after the 7th day, because we believe that when you stay after 7 days, then you have come to join us. So you don't see the sun to the 7th day. And that's when we have the naming ceremony. Naming ceremonies here are very, very joyous occasion. Children here represent wealth. In the north, if you have a child who is a female who is about to go into marriage, that is 1 cow. So if you have 5 women, that's 5 cows right there. So children are very, very important. Now, as I said, children also represent status, and so most importantly, the continuation of the lineage in our society. So on the 7th day, when we all gather to have a ceremony, they bring the child out, and in the part of the ceremony, they give a child a drop of water and also a drop of alcohol, and they tell this child, this is water and this is alcohol. At this very 7th-day, child is taught to differentiate between evil and good. His or her yes must be yes, and no must be no. So you get to learn about the good things right from that infancy, and then you get your name. Children here, everybody born in Ghana here comes with a day name. So for instance, there are 7 days in a week. So the male on the Monday is called Ajua. The female is called Ajua. The male is called Kojo. On Tuesday, you are called Abena for a female and Kwabena for a male. On Wednesday, it's Ikuya for the female and Kweku for the male. Yao for the male on Thursday and Ya for the female on Thursday. Friday is Kofi for the male and then Ifia for the female. On Saturday, the male is called Ama, the male and female is called Kwame, and then Sunday, the female is Akosia and the male is called Kwesi. So that becomes your automatic name. So everybody here born in Ghana normally has 3 names. They're your day name, circumstances around your birth. My name is Mauli. Now, Mauli means God is alive. Now, my mother said when she was pregnant with me, there were a lot of issues around her pregnancy. But God saw her through. So she named me Mauli. Just tell God, thank you. So there's Mauli, and there's Kwesi, and then my father's last name. So that because I have 3 names. And sometimes they take you to church and you get a John or a Peter or additional Christian. So you might end up with 4 names. So name here is very important. And also because we believe that whatever name we give you will determine the outcome of how you end up in society. So name here is very, very important. When you all come, we'll have a naming ceremony. The pictures you see here is part of naming ceremonies that we just did for people that just our brothers and sisters just came in, and then there's dancing after the ceremony. I'll show you a lot of video about a lot of naming ceremony after these 2 slides. And the next stage in our living heritage is called what we call the puberty rites. Now let me say that puberty rites are normally held in the certain southern part of the country where young adolescents are brought together to a village for about a week, and they are all taught how to, and the queen mother and the elders of the society teach them how all the secrets of womanhood, what to do during puberty and all of that. And then they are taught life skills. So after a week, they are brought out to the Deba and they are outdoored to the public that these children have gone through the puberty rites, so they are good to go, and then they are prayed for protection to go help them out. So that's for the puberty stage. And then the next stage in our life is what we call a traditional marriage. Now again, marriage here is very, very, very important. 2 adults can't just meet somewhere and go ahead and get married. You have to seek the consent of both parents. And this can be a very long and tedious process because there will be investigations among both families to make sure that you're not coming from a family where they are deviant in the society, they are families where they are lazy, they don't want to go out and work. And a good name is very, very, very important. So after all of that has been done, then we'll be given an opportunity to go ahead and get married. And so they'll bring the 2 couples together. They will give the groom, the will-be groom, a list of items to go get. They include traditional clothes like the kente cloth that the gentleman on the screen is wearing, the jewelry, all of that. There's going to be drinks. There's going to be some token of money as part of the ceremony. When they come together for that ceremony, then the bride is asked, should we go ahead and accept all these things that they're going to bring into us to ask for your hand in marriage? If she says yes, then we can go ahead and have that ceremony. Then the elders will come together, pray for you, bless your marriage, and that officially is the marriage. Then, of course, you can go have a wedding in the church and everything else. So when we come, we will get to see the traditional marriage. It's a beautiful ceremony that you can see from it. It could last the whole day. Then we'll have all the drumming and dancing after that. So the next stage in our life is called death, which is pretty much the Living Heritage series. Now, death here is a very, very sad occasion, but also we believe that when you die, you're just gone temporary. We'll see you again in a few years. You're just going to become an ancestor, and we'll see you in a few years, not going for too long. So what happens is that depending on your status in society, you could be kept in a morgue for 6 months to even a year whilst we get ready to bury you. Most funerals starts on a Friday where they bring the body in, and on Saturday we have the service, and then we go to the cemetery. After that is when we have the party. There's all drumming and dancing, people coming to pay homage, to come and bring donations to that. Now again, there's what we call the fancy coffins, depending on the status of society. We'll get to see some of these fancy coffins. That's a coffin designed in a bed, somebody that loves bed. You can see a coffin in design in the form of a Bible, in the form of an aeroplane. You could be buried in that if you so choose. So that's the final part of the ceremony. Some part of the society, we still do what we call the 40-day ceremony, because we believe that when we bury you after 40 days, your spirit still lingers around, making sure everything's all right before it goes away finally. So after 40 days, we do a little ceremony to officially send you away. Now, as part of the ceremony. Now, what we do when our brothers and sisters come to the motherland is that we have an atonement ceremony. Our ancestors did play a role in slavery. So we work with our ancestors in some of the slave towns where we have an atonement ceremony where we receive you at the wells where the slaves took their bath before they went away. They use some of the water to wash your feet. It's the highest form of humility anybody can show to you, to say, I'm very, very sorry. So an atonement ceremony is also part of the things, our living heritage experience that you get to see. My next slide, I'm going to show a short 15-second video. This is the ceremony that we just had for the last group. So the chief's palace, you see the drummers getting down there. And then there's a ceremony, everybody's going to be getting a local name from here. And after that, there's all the drumming and dancing. It's a beautiful ceremony that can last for like 2-3 hours, and something definitely worth seeing. So we've seen all the culture, the history of the people. Let's talk about the World Heritage Sites that we have in Ghana. Now, in the 14th and 15th centuries, a lot of Europeans came along the coast of West Africa, and they built trading posts that became later on slave trading posts and dungeons. 2 of those slave trading posts are still in Ghana, and they've been named World Heritage Sites, the Cape Coast Castle and the Elmina Castle. Now, as part of the tour, we get to visit these slave castles. We'll go to the courtyard, we'll go to the male slave dungeon, the female slave dungeon. We'll see the door of no return. We will return through the door and come to the castle. So we'll get to see that. Now, when all of this is over, we also will do a lot of ceremony to wash away all the bad spirits that were inhibited during the slave castle. So we'll see the World Heritage Sites in Cape Coast and Elmina. We also have national parks. The biggest one is the Mole National Park, which is up north and home to one of the big elephants, the big fives, the elephants. There are warthogs, though, there are baboons, a lot of birds also in the game park. Now, the other one is the Kakum National Park, which is famous for 7 bridges. Now, the 7 bridges are hanging on the top of trees and about 100 feet above the forest floor. So we'll get to climb a little slope and get on the canopy and walk through the 7 bridges. It's a beautiful experience that is definitely worth seeing. And of course, we get to see the village on stills, the Nzulenzu village as well. We also have the highest waterfall peak in West Africa, located in Ghana, and Mount Afajato, also, which is also the highest mountain in West Africa, all in Ghana. The Afajato Mountain is about 2,904 feet above sea level, or 885 meters above sea level. So we get to climb to the forest, the top of the mountain without any climbing gear, or also get to see the waterfalls where we cross the same river 11 times. There's also a big hippo sanctuary also that is worth exploring when we come to Ghana. Now, what else can we do? Festivals. In Ghana, every month, there is a festival somewhere. Every month, there's some festival happening in some part of the country. One of the biggest ones is Akwesi Dai. Akwesi Dai Festival is celebration by the Ashanti people every 42 days, where the king of Ashanti, Otumfuo Osei comes to the courtyard to receive homage from all the paramount chiefs and the sub-chiefs. There's a lot of music, there's a lot of drumming, there's sharing of gifts, and the chiefs just get to hear all the issues in the kingdom every 42 days. It's a beautiful ceremony that's definitely worth seeing. Of course, Panafest is held every 2 years. Panafest is the big one that we are all trying to come to July next year. So the next Panafest is July 2021. That's going to be held in Cape Coast and in Accra. So during Panafest, there's the activities include the slave route pilgrimage and atonement ceremony that I just described. There's a special return journey through the door of no return. There's a musical concert, a emancipation derby on August 1st as part of the Panafest celebration, where all the chiefs and elders come in their palanquins to the derby grounds. There's a lot of drumming and dancing, the beautiful kente cloths. That happens as part of the festival. So of course, there's a lot of music, there's drumming and dancing, of course. Another festival very, very important is Chalewote. It is an arts festival that brings music and dance and performance to the streets in Jamestown. It's a whole week celebration of festival. Now, last year we held for the first time Afrochella and Afro Nation. A lot of people came to Ghana for that. And this year in January, the government signed an MOU for Afro Nation to hold Afro Nation for the next 5 years. It's going to be held in Ghana. So festivals are also worth seeing in Ghana when you come. Now, the food here is just very, very, very fresh and organic. I can tell you that. I mean, our famous foods are like the jollof rice, the red, which is just black-eyed beans and fried ripe plantain, the shita, which always goes with all the foods, and the local drinks like bisap. What you see is the bisap. Bisap is hibiscus juice. And of course, we have a lot of chocolate in Ghana. Chocolate, no milk, just real chocolate in Ghana. As part of the culinary tour, we will go to the market with a chef to go buy ingredients. Then you can come in and learn. The chef will walk you through cooking something delicious, which you get to eat after that. Of course, you go home with the recipe, so you can go practice when you go back home after learning from the chef in Ghana. But the food here is definitely very, very worth enjoying. Now, what other things we can do in Ghana? What we call the high impact activities, where you get to use your body, you get to use your hand, you learn something where you can learn drumming and dancing. Workshop is available to meet. It's one of the best drummers here in the country. You learn how to make pots. You can do a lot of pots, have your name on it. You learn how to do beads, carry and take it along. You also even learn how to make shea butter. It's also available for you to learn. So you go away with something that you didn't just watch, but you participated and you're able to go away with something. So those are what we call the impact activities available. Now, those of you that love shopping, well, welcome to Ghana. There's a lot of things to do for shopping here. Authentic crafts everywhere. Everywhere is the kente cloth. You don't really get to shop, but you get to see how it's woven. Different kinds of high, very, very important designers make clothes from whatever kind you want, you'll be able to get. Of course, jewelry here. Ghana has a lot of gold, so we also have a lot of jewelry. So we'll take you to go see all the jewelry shops. You can buy whatever you want. Now, for those who want to volunteer as well, there is an opportunity to do that. We can do volunteering from all across different fields. It could be in the schools, it could be in the hospitals, it could be with an NGO, whatever volunteering that is desired, we can make that possible. Good. So where do we stay? Now, the next couple of slides I'm going to show are just the different kinds of accommodation that is available to stay in Ghana. The Labadi Beach is a beach hotel in Accra, 5-star, very, very African hotel. Now you have the Movenpick, is also another 5-star hotel located in the business district with all kinds of amenities. Then we have the Kempinski, which is now the newest of the 5-star hotel as well, also in Accra with lots of amenities. The service excellent. Then we go to the Marriott Hotel by the airport. Is also available for your stay as an option. We have the Fiesta Royal, also available for stay as well. The Tank Palace is also another 4-star hotel available. Then we go to Golden Tulip. It's also right here in Accra with a casino and the rest of that amenities that every hotel has. And then we go to the out of the city to Cape Coast to go to where the slave castles are. You have the 4-star Royal Ridge Hotel. You have the beautiful Coconut Grove right on the beach. Beautiful grounds, Coconut Grove Beach Resort. When we go a little further to the western part of the country, we have the 4-star Atlantic Beach Hotel, it's also available. We have the Marriott Hotel, also in Takoradi, very, very nice hotel, right, not too far from the beach. Also, the Maha Beach is a locally made hotel. Everything is locally made. It's right on the beach, not too far from the village on stilts. Also, we have the Royal Central Hotel in the eastern part of the country, located on the Volta Lake with round chalets, rooms facing the Volta Lake as well. Then we go to Kumasi, which is the middle part of the country. The Golden Tulip Hotel is another 4-star hotel as well. And then when you go up north, this is the Zena Lodge, right where the game park with all the elephants. This is where you wake up every morning, you see an elephant in front of your door. It's definitely worth an experience to see. Now, what are some of the essentials that we need to come to Ghana? You definitely need a valid passport that should be at least 6 months, valid for at least 6 months. We need a visa to come to Ghana. And visas can be obtained from the New York consulate, Ghana consulate in New York, or from the Ghana embassy in DC, or online as well. You definitely need a yellow fever vaccination. And before you get here, you need to see a doctor and get your malaria prevention drug, take your malaria medication before you come to Ghana. There will be we are very sure that when all of this is over, there will be some kind of COVID result test that will be required. That's still underway as well. Now, Ghana is what we call the hot climate. Temperatures range between, could be as high as 100 degrees Fahrenheit. The hottest month is March. It gets cooler from July, August, September, where we have the rains as well. But it's really, really not too hot. I mean, apart from March, every month is very, very good. I'm going to show a 2-minute, 35-second video in my next slide, overview of Ghana. Before then, I just want to show you that all of these people were here last year, so it's time for you two to come. Okay. Okay, so this is just along the beach in Ghana. That's the Independence Arch you see right there that we just saw. That's the castle. This is where the president's office is. Just welcome to Ghana. So that's the Independence Arch you see right there. There's a lighthouse by the beach. We have a long list of coasts here. A lot of music, drumming, dancing all over in Ghana, every part of the country. The surfing, this is just young men out there playing our drums. And this is going to see the village on stilts. Danny Glover was here last year. The food, oh my God. Those who want to shop, there you go. They're going to the village on stilts. So this is Ghana. There's more shopping again. Everything from clothing, from handbags, there's music. And this is just one of the accommodations that I showed you earlier. More food options. Just young men playing soccer, football, just having fun on the beach. Of course, more food options available as well. And the countryside is just very beautiful. Look at that. It's just very, very, very beautiful. This is the slave castles, where a little bit of that will come again. The children are just everywhere, very warm, nice and friendly, everywhere you go. There's a lighthouse again. So this is the slave castles coming from the door of no return at the slave castle in Cape Coast and Elmina, along the beach right there. There's a courtyard of the Cape Coast Castle. And that was a plaque that was done by Michelle Obama when she came here in 2009. There's a male slave dungeon. People going to the male slave dungeon. You see the cells and the slave dungeons right there. Fishermen about to go out to sea. There's young people just having fun dancing. So that's it for the presentation. Donna, we can take questions now.
Thank you for that wonderful presentation. All right, so what is the temperature and humidity like in July?
Okay, so we have what we call the rainy season. The first major rainy season starts from middle of April, May, and June. And then in July, there's just slight rains, not a lot of rains in July, but it picks up again in August and September. It doesn't get hotter than 78, 75, 78 in July. And that's the hottest it gets there. Of course, along the coast, because we're along the coast, there's a lot of humidity as well.
Mm-hmm. And that question probably came up because our trip is in July. So
July, right?
Yeah,
yes.
July,
yes.
August.
And
so.
Laurie, since you were here July the last time, you could speak to that. I mean, it wasn't hot, was it?
It was very pleasant. I was surprised because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to Ghana in July and August. I'm going to just melt.
The best times to come is for July, August, September. Those are the best times.
So it was very pleasant. So we're going back the same time that we were there last year.
Okay, can travelers, we got this twice. So
okay.
Robin and Sheila, I hope that they're going to be able to, I'm going to try to merge your two questions together so that we can get an answer. Can the travelers obtain a coronavirus test anywhere, or does Overland Travel Ghana has specific testing sites? And then Robin was saying, what is the current expectation for visitors as it relates to COVID? So can we like merge that answer together, guys?
Okay, so this is still a very moving target and still under a lot of investigation. Currently, we don't know yet, but we are very sure that when all of this is over, people will definitely be required to show some kind of clearance that they don't have a COVID, or when they get to the airport, there might be some instant testing to make sure you're safe to them. And of course, there's still a lot of things happening very quickly. We're trying to catch up what the government policies are going to be. They're changing every day. So we will be able to know definite, maybe another month or two, exactly what it will be like in July next year. And Mona, do you want to add something to that?
Yes, we do have several testing sites around the country, yes. And anyone that's feeling like they have the symptoms are directed to those sites. So far, Ghana has about 4,000 cases, and we've had 18 deaths. So there's lots of testing going on here. I've been tested. It's not, we're hoping by the time, next year this time around, that we'll see a huge decrease in the cases that we have. But right now, it's nothing like what you have raging in the US. But we're very, very vigilant to make sure that it doesn't get to that point. And we do have about 5 testing places in the city. And then as you go up country, there are other locations as well.
Okay, guys, just make sure that you put your questions in the Q&A. It's make it much easier for me to give the questions to our presenters. What is security like in Ghana in regards to tourists?
Okay, so Ghana is one of the very, very safest countries in Africa. Apart from just the probably pickpockets here and there, there's nothing you have to worry. You don't have to worry. In some countries, you have to go on the tour with a bodyguard with an armed gun. No, you don't need that here. It's very, very safe here. Ghanaians are very, very warm and friendly. I mean, they go out of their way to help you out and show you places, and give you directions. But then they're we have very little incidents of people being attacked, tourists being attacked or robbed. No, it's a very, very safe place.
What is the average age for a female getting married?
Say that again.
What is the average age for a female getting married?
Okay.
Like,
okay.
is there like a standard, I guess, like, like at 18, they're getting married, or they're getting married at 16?
Well, the law says that you can get married at 18. That's what the law says. But the economics do not say that. I mean, people are really getting married in their late 20s. The females normally in their late 20s. Or nowadays, because they have to work and they have their career, women everywhere now. So some of them in their early 30s or their mid 30s. So it used to be a little younger, but now they are marrying a little older. So early 30s, mid 30s.
Okay. Is gold less expensive in Ghana than other places in the world?
Larry, did you buy any gold here?
No, I didn't buy any gold. I bought clothes. I bought the fabric for my wrap. Oh my God! So I didn't buy any gold though. So
okay. Well, what I know is that there is a standard. The way whatever gold you're buying is on the carat, number of carat and all of that, and there's a standard that is used pretty much across the gold buying country. So it's about the same everywhere, but there's more variety here. I can tell you when it comes to the gold jewelries and trinkets, we have a lot more variety because I hear that feedback a lot, that we have a lot more options here to buy. But the prices are pretty much about the same everywhere.
Yeah, I would say that it's probably a little bit cheaper than what you get in the US, but it's not as cheap as what you get, the prices that you get in the Caribbean. So it's somewhere between the two.
Okay. It is said that Rita Marley lives in Ghana. Can anyone see her house, or do you know about what
Rita Marley's house is actually 10 minutes away from my house on the eastern part of the city, the northern part of the city, along the coast, along the mountains, in a neighborhood called Ebri. It's one of the coolest part of the country, the city. So yes, she has a big house there. She has a recording studio there where sometimes she comes to Ghana with people from Jamaica to come and record music. And if she's available, of course, if she's available when you come, we will let you go see, make an appointment to go see her if she's available.
Lori, this question's for you. What is the average amount of money visitors bring to spend while on vacation in Ghana for shopping, etc.?
I get that question for every single trip, and it really depends on how much you shop. You know, for the Ghana trip, your basics are supplied. You have all your accommodations are included. Your breakfast and your dinners are included in the tour, and as well as all of your activities. Now, I can tell you it depends on your shopping, and people on the Ghana trip just lost their minds shopping. I have never seen people shop so much. And no, honestly, in my life, we have 41 people on the Ghana trip
Yes.
last year. And by the end of the trip, not by halfway through the trip, we had no more room under the bottom of the bus for the luggage. Mawuli was right there. He was very hands-on. he came to me and said, Lori, we don't have any room. So we had to put luggage in the back seat of the bus. We had the last row of the bus because people shopped so much and they bought extra luggage while they were in Ghana. I was like, oh my, I almost wanted to say, y'all, you just can't shop anymore. But yeah, I mean, it really does depend. I mean, so it's a very inexpensive trip. I have the trip planned for next year. So if you bought like $200, just for your lunches or whatever, you're covered. But when y'all get out there and start getting the custom made dresses and buying the fabrics and buying the jewelry, it really depends. It really depends on how much shopping you're gonna do. So if you're a shopper, you want to bring a significant amount of money, especially if you want to bring. We had a money exchanger come in, exchange our money for us to give us a good rate. So if you're gonna shop in the market, you're gonna want to bring cash. Sometimes I use my ATM or my credit card at a couple of the shops that we went to, but for the most part, I bought stuff in the market, and I'll admit I got caught up too. I mean, I was part of the madness, and I got stuff in my house, and I'm like, I forgot I bought. But yeah, it's definitely, it was so funny when Mwali was going through all the stuff you can do on the trip. I was just like, yeah. But when he got to shopping, that's what my group did most of. So sorry, Tracy. That really depends on how much shopping you're gonna do.
Let me see. Catherine has a question. So she says, does, Mwali, you're going to tell me what the name, or Lori, does Zaini lounge with the elephants on property? So I guess she asking, are the elephants on property for the Zaini lounge?
The lodge, yeah.
The lodge.
So
are they people friendly? Okay, wait a minute. Are they people friendly, and are you allowed to interact? So it's a three-part. Are they on the property? Are they friendly, and are you allowed to interact?
Okay, so the lodge is located inside the game park, and the elephants are inside the game park. So they come close to the pool. You could see them as very close to the pool, or when you're in front of your door, you could see them, walk by. You are not allowed to get too close, probably 50 meters, because they are still animals. I mean, there might be a guard there, but you are not allowed to get at least 50 meters away from the elephants. You are not allowed to interact with the animals. You can, of course, take a picture and all of that, but for your own safety, you're not allowed to get closer than that. But there are elephants in the lounge that you can see every time you come around the lounge. You get closer to the pool, from the distance you can see them.
Both of you guys are in Ghana right now, correct?
That's right.
Okay.
In Accra, Ghana.
Are people wearing masks in Ghana right now?
My mask is actually across from the computer. Yes, we are all required now to wear masks.
It's legal. You have to wear it. They will arrest you if you don't.
Yes, they're required by law to wear masks when you leave your house.
What is the money exchange rate?
So as of today, $1 is worth 5 cedis, 90 pesos. So it fluctuates, it doesn't go too, it's been around that for a while now. So a dollar today is 5 to 90 pesos. So if you have $100, it's worth 500 to these 90 pesos.
And this is very favorable for our visitors
Yes.
because the CD in value always trails the dollar. So you get a lot more with your dollar than we do with our CD.
Yeah, hence why people did so much shopping, because it was really a good value to shop there. So the exchange rate is very favorable.
And let me just say something about the shopping, because the shopping here is fun, because most times you're not just going to the shop to go pick up something from the shelf. You're going to the market to bargain for things. It could be very challenging, but when you get used to it, it's a lot of fun. You get to meet people. You hustle over a product. You could, it's just, that's how we also get to know people. So then you're not just buying away, but you get to meet a friend. You meet somebody that's called Kofi or Amma, who looks like you back home in New York, and you get to meet that person. That's how you stay friends with them. And at the end, you go home with an item, which is very, very worth what you're buying for. So of course, there's some shops where you could just go pick it up from the shelf, but most of the shopping is just by bargaining to relationship building to pick up an item.
Lori, this question is for you. Does Overton Travel have an adopted Ghanaian school or homeless shelter?
We do not, and so as Mawuli was going over the presentation and talking about some of the activities that we can do to give back as we go, I was thinking I should follow up, but we do not have one as of yet.
We have one waiting for you.
I'm sure. Yeah, and so that is something I would like to incorporate, and actually, like to get in that like early on, so we could organize something. Because one of the questions that I get a lot of time, particularly when I go back to Africa, is, Lori, can we bring things? Can we donate things? And I like to get organized on that, and just to having people, instead of having people just bring in random things, if we can kind of organize a drive or something like that, that'll be great. So so the answer is not yet, but we will before we go. So
Great.
Thank you for that question.
I meant to ask you guys, do the merchants take credit cards, or is it just cash only?
So for security, we advise that you use credit cards only at designated restaurants, hotels, and big shops, where they have a lot more security. But for the open markets, little stores in the neighborhoods, in the markets, in the village we go, we encourage you to use cash because it's safer, and your credit card is not going to be compromised when you just go. It's best to just use cash in those places.
Okay. Are there?
And I want to add that the most commonly accepted credit cards are Visa and MasterCard. Very few people will take just big hotels are the ones that will take American Express.
Okay. Are there extra safety measures taken to ensure international tourists are safe while attending the Pan-African Festival? Are you on your own, or is it an organized event? So I guess all of you can answer this one.
Okay, so it's an organized event which is spearheaded by a government organization working with Ghana Tourism Organization. And I might say that the Pan-African Foundation that puts all of this together, one of the board members is Mona. So she is also part of the panel that makes sure everybody's safe. The police is part of the planning stages when it's being planned, and the execution stages. So there's police protection for all our tourists that come in from the first day to the last day. All the various activity centers, there's a lot of security, the deba grounds, the music sites, the slave dungeons, the everywhere. There's a lot of security there, so it's very, very highly organized. There's state protection, so there's nobody have to worry about security when it comes to Pan African.
Now, security is not an issue here I mean, you may have some petty pickpocketing, but other than that, people are very safe in Ghana. I'll just tell you a short little story. We work for the cruise line, and there were two young ladies that missed their bus back to their ship, and they had been drinking. They were inebriated, and they went to sleep on, they were sleeping on a bench, and a gentleman saw them, picked them up, put them in his car, and drove them all the way to Tema, which is like a 25-mile drive, to the harbor so that they would be safe. And that's generally the attitude here towards visitors. People treat visitors very well, and it's just a friendly country, and it's a safe country. This is a country where people really don't look very, crime is just not tolerated. We have it, but the penalty is very severe. So people are very discouraged from committing crimes and any kind of act of aggression, very discouraged in this country. So people are really safe. We have not really had, we've been in business for 27 years. We've never had these kind of issues.
What are the main towns, areas you would recommend for visitors to get a real feel for Ghana?
Okay, so the very first one is Accra, which is where it has the international airport. So everybody's going to come in through Accra. And then definitely we're going to go westwards to Cape Coast. Cape Coast used to be the former capital of the country in the 1800s. And that's where it has all the slave castles and Elmina. So definitely you want to see Cape Coast, you want to see Elmina because of the slave history as well. Then you want to go to Kumasi, which is the middle portion of the country. Kumasi is what we call the cultural capital of Ghana. That's where the Ashanti Hene and all the Ashanti history, the Ashanti Museum, the big KGTR market, that's where all the wood carving is done, the kente weaving is done, the Adinkra cloth is done there, a lot of pottery made. So definitely those big two places, you want to see Accra, Cape Coast, and definitely Kumasi. Up north is where the big game park is, the Mole National Park as well. Then of course, in between, there are all these small, beautiful, untouched villages. That's where we go to have all the ceremonies, is where you get to have the experiential activities. So those three places definitely worth seeing, and then in between them as well.
All right, Lori, this question is for you. When is the trip to Ghana going to appear on the website? And then there was another one. How will it be determined which hotel we will stay?
Okay. The trip to Ghana should be on the website today. I mean, it should be there now. So if you go to the website, you should see it. And well, it's a question like, what hotels will we be staying at?
How will it be determined which hotel we will stay? And then there's another one. What are the names of our accommodations for the trip?
They're already on the website. We have confirmed this trip. So some of the accommodations that Mawali went over already in Accra, we'll be staying at the Movenpick Hotel. And as many of you read my newsletter, I think last week, I put that as one of my favorite hotels. The Movenpick is a 5-star hotel in Accra. We stayed there before, and it's beautiful. It's like an African art gallery with all the artwork that's there, and the food is great accommodation. So in Accra, we're staying at the Movenpick. Along the coast, we're staying at the Coconut Grove Hotel, which is a beautiful hotel. It's along the beach. It's not a 5-star property, but what I like about it, the grounds are gorgeous. So it gives you a great variety in, like in Accra, you're in downtown, you're in a city, so you're in a business type hotel. When you go along the Cape Coast, we're at the Coconut Grove, which is more of a resort atmosphere, and the grounds are beautiful, and you're on the beach. And then up in, is it Kumasi, we are staying at the Golden Tulip, I believe.
That's right.
Yep, we're at Golden Tulip, which is a 4-star hotel, beautiful hotel as well. Half my group, it's a casino is attached to it. And when I looked up, everybody was at the casino. So there is a casino attached to the hotel. So we stay at 3 different properties, all of which have been vetted, all of which we've stayed at before. And the names of the properties are listed on the website in the itinerary, so you can Google them. But they're fantastic properties.
Okay, Lori, more for you. How many days is the trip planned for? And what was making this trip different from the last time you guys went to Ghana?
Okay. The trip is a total about 10, it's 9 nights, like 10 or 11 days. And it's very similar to the last trip. It's still around Panafest, because I wanted people to go during a festival. And also it's during the summertime, so I have a lot of educators. So I didn't forget about my educators in the group. So I have a lot of educators in the group. And going during when school is out really gives them an opportunity to come on a trip with Overton Travel. And as we talked about earlier, the weather is really good during that time of the year, and it's good to experience a festival as part of the trip. The festival isn't the whole part of the trip. The whole trip is just an aspect of it. The only difference right now is we're not going to Tamale. For those who went last year, we went to Tamale, and that's where we had the atonement ceremony. I just felt that added a lot. It added a lot more of driving time to this trip. So we took that out, and although the ceremony was great, the accommodations in that area, to be honest with you, were not the best in that area. So that was the one thing that I got a lot of feedback on, was the Tamale accommodation. So that I didn't put back in the trip this year. So that's the only other, that's probably the main difference. But we have the naming ceremony, we have Panafest, we have the Durbar, we have all the other things.
Lori, what are some of the items that you purchased when you went on your Ghana trip?
How much time we have left? Let me see.
That was actually a question, so I'm not asking. I mean, it was really a question.
Now, I mean, shopping became a sport. To be honest with you, this was the most difficult trip that I had to manage from the travel agency's perspective, from travel agency, from tour operator, from my tour guide. This was the most difficult trip I had to manage because people were always coming back to the bus late because they were shopping. Honestly, there was so much shopping. So some of the things that I bought, so I have to think about this, how I'm going to do this next time around. I think when I started planning this trip, when I was working with someone else, I said, we're not taking 40 people next year. I just can't handle that many people. But I bought a lot of fabrics. We went to the fabric store. There was a very, was it Houdin? What's the fabric? We went to a very famous fabric store, and I bought some I got like 12, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this fabric. I got like 12 yards of this fabric still sitting in the bag, but it's beautiful fabric. I couldn't leave it there. I bought fabrics. I bought dresses from the markets. I went to the markets. I bought jewelry. I bought purses. I think I have one here. I have one of these like purses and stuff that I bought. I bought, what else did I buy? A lot of jewelry. I got more jewelry than I can ever use. And I think, yes, dresses, purses, fabric, jewelry. There was something else. Just gifts to give away to people, and I don't know. But my whole group would just shop like crazy. Yeah. A lot. Oh, shea butter. So I have to go back. I bought people locals would come by our hotel like 10 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock. It was dark. I'm like, where are these people? But my group is like, they're here. And I'm like, where's everybody going? They were going to the front of the hotel to buy shea butter and black soap. The word got out that a group from America was shopping, and people were just coming to the hotel. At middle of the night, like guys would be coming in the hotel, like bringing bracelets and stuff. So yeah, the shea butter and the black soap. I bought a lot of, and I'm almost out of it. So I'm due for another trip. So a lot of, it's just endless what you can buy. I got elephants. I think I have I'm home. Yeah, I got like little elephants for all my deltas out there. So yeah, just crafty stuff. So people bought artwork. So it's just, yeah, Ghana is really, I've never done more shopping on any other trip than I have done in Ghana. Yeah.
Okay, Lori, so I want shea butter and I want black soap when you go, okay? So
Now, I say you come with us. You know, the trip is a whole over a year away. It's already on the website. You can start putting in deposits now. And I mean, if there's any bright side to delaying the trip a year is you have a longer payment period for it. So start, saving your little coins now. I know things are uncertain with COVID, but like I did this year for 2020, if it's not safe to go, we won't go. I mean,
Right.
so basically, if it's not safe, we won't go. And I'm proud to say that every trip that got canceled this year, people were made whole. No one lost money on any trip. It got put forward to the trip next year, either got a refund, or if they got sick, if they filed an insurance claim or something. But I can honestly say no one lost money on any trip that was canceled this year, and it's safe to say the same thing for next year.
Hey, Lori, do you know how many people you're planning to take next year to Ghana, considering we're dealing with COVID?
Well, so here's my thought. I think I'm prayerful and hopeful that COVID won't be as big an issue in July of 2021 as it is now. So my perspective on how I do my January 2021 trip is a little bit different than my July 2021 trip. But I would say like 25 people is what I'm thinking of at this point, 25, 30, because if you have a 40 passenger bus, that allows you to have people sit like almost every other seat and still have space. I won't take 40 people like I did last year. So I think we had a 45 passenger bus actually. And if we do 25 people, that allows people to have their own seats.
Lori, this is for you. Does the trip include insurance for travel and medical?
It does not. I mean, insurance is optional, so you always have the option to purchase it. So I offer it right there on the website, so you can purchase the travel protection in addition.
Okay. When we return from Ghana with loads of extra luggage, what are the airport fees? Does Ghana recognize a 50-pound limit per luggage piece?
That is depending on the airline that you use. So last year we flew on Emirates, and at that point, Emirates allows you to have 2 bags at 50 pounds. So most people got away. They didn't have to pay fees because they had the 2 bags and plus the carry-on. So that's really not a Ghana question. That really depends on the airline and what their baggage fees are. So it's too early to book what airline we're going to use for next year. It may be, so the 2 airlines that I like are Delta and Emirates. The Delta flight is great because Delta has a direct flight from JFK to Accra, which is really nice. Right. And then you can fly direct. So the one I had booked for this year, we flew direct there, and then we had a layover, I think, in Amsterdam or Paris on the way back. Last year I used Emirates just because Emirates was so much cheaper. I mean, it was really a lot cheaper on Emirates. So the guys with me last year, we actually stopped in Dubai for 2 days before the trip because the flight was so much more cheaper. I was able to throw in 2 nights in Dubai as well. So let's watch and see what the airfare is going to be like next year, and that will determine. But you also have the option to book your own fare. Some people own airfare. Some people that were, that had miles on Delta or whatever, they just flew on their own and met us and met the group there. And also, Wally talked about a lot of things that I didn't include in my trip because Ghana's not, in my opinion, is not a one and done country. You're not going to be able to get all of that done in one trip. So if there's something that you see that you want to do that's maybe not included in my trip that I have planned, let me know. We can always have you come a little bit earlier or stay a little bit later and arrange tours for you as well. Like I don't have the safari place on my trip. I do my safaris in other parts of Africa, not necessarily in Ghana at this point. But if you saw that safari lodge and you want to do it and it's not on my trip, say, hey, Lori, can I stay later or come earlier and get that in? Okay.
What kind of access is there to healthcare system as in an emergency? And then the other question is, what is the rate of people who have sickle cell?
So Ghana has, especially in Accra and Kumasi, very, very excellent healthcare system. I mean, there's 37 military hospitals, excellent healthcare, the Kolibu Hospital, a lot of private healthcare facilities are available, Yahoo Clinic, very, very near to all the major hotels. So that's definitely not an issue. I can't, on the top of my head, give you the sickle cell numbers. I have to go find it and send that to Laurie to send to you.
Okay. This is the other question I'm going to ask. I guess, I don't know, Lori, I think this is more for you. Are travel costs higher since less people are traveling?
I don't know yet. So I haven't seen the rates for next year, but we'll wait and see. Yeah. So I haven't seen the rates for next year yet.
And a final question, if you have any more questions, please quickly get them in our Q&A. But this question is shipping outrageously expensive, thinking of buying art and affordable artifacts? Does anybody know what the cost might be to ship?
Shipping is not, I mean, there are two ways of shipping. If you want to ship by air, of course, it's to get there in 3 days, back to New York in 3 days, it's going to cost you a lot more. You can also ship by sea. It's going to get there in 6 weeks, and it's very, very, very cheap. So the option is yours. If you want to do by air, definitely you can do that and you get there quicker by costing more, or by ship by freight, which will take you 6 weeks to get back to the US, and it's reasonably priced.
I mean, air travel, the airline.
Oh, so yeah, so I see the question from Jean.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. I mean, right now you see everything is super duper cheap, right? If you want to fly, I mean, I personally bought a flight to Jamaica for like $300 for July. Probably won't go, but it was really cheap. But next year, I don't know what they're going to be, because next year there may be less people on the plane. So if the planes still have to fly with less people, the flights may be higher, or they may reduce the price for demand. I mean, just to get people flying or what have you. So I don't have a crystal ball into what's going to happen next year. Flight prices usually come out 11 months prior in advance. So this trip is July and August. So hopefully by the end of September, I'll know the flight prices for next year. I've included in my package, I estimated based on what the flight prices were this year. So I'm hoping it'll be about the same. So I put a little asterisk on my website saying, hey, these prices are based on 2020 airfare. And I got a little wiggle room in there. But if it goes up a lot, then I'll let you know. But right now, I don't know what it's going to be like for July 2021.
All right, so we mentioned that a visa was needed.
Yes.
So can you talk about that more?
So the visa process is pretty much less than 10 days to apply to get a visa now. It's getting better every day. You just send your passport by courier to the consulate in New York, and in a couple of days you should get a visa. You apply online and then send your passport to the consulate in New York. It's for $100. You get a visa to come to Ghana, and within 10 days your passport should be mailed back to your return address.
Yeah, and for those of us who live in New York, as most of you guys do, you can just go to the consulate. So I just went to the consulate. It takes 2 trips. So for those of you local, you can just go do it. For those of you who are not, you can mail it. But it's right downtown in the city, so it's not far. Okay.
Alrighty, that's it.
All right, that's it. So we are just a little bit after 2. I want to thank you all for coming. I got to put in one last plug for the trip to Ghana 2021. Go ahead, sign up now, and just start, it gives you something to look forward to. Ghana was an amazing trip. Going to the motherland was something that I will never forget, and I'm looking forward to going on. I'll definitely be on this trip myself, God willing. You guys know I don't go on all the trips myself anymore, but Ghana is a trip that I will definitely be attending, and I hopefully will see most of you on the trip. I see some people that have already signed up for the trip on this webinar, so spread the word, spread the word. You met two of the people here that will be, well, Mona is now retired, but Mawali is now the CEO of Land Tours. So they will be our Land Tours is our tour operator in Ghana, and they take a vested interest in our trip. You know, they are there personally to make sure that things go well for us. So that is very encouraging. So so please sign up for the trip to Ghana next year and spread the word. So thank you for coming today. I definitely have to thank Mona. Thank you for your support and being here. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mawuli, for coming and giving us an awesome presentation. And last but not least, thank you, Donna, for being our moderator and handling all the questions so efficiently. So you guys know how to find me at lori@overtontravel.com. Send me your questions, send me your emails, Facebook, anyway, call me. I'm more than happy to answer them. Also come to our next Wanderlust Wednesday series. Next Wednesday, we're talking about the KwaZulu-Natal area of South Africa. So we're gonna keep traveling when it's safe to do so. Stay home now, but travel later. Thank you, be blessed. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.